Siliconrepublic, and this is the PlayStation 4. So the PlayStation 3 launched in 2006, and 7 years later we have this, the next generation PlayStation 4, promising powerful graphics, speed and integrated social capabilities. The console is about 2 inches tall, 12 inches deep and 10 inches wide, so it's slimmer than even the new ultra slim PlayStation 3 and considerably lighter. Front you have 2 USB 3.0 ports, you've got sleek power and eject buttons and the optical drive. At the rear you've got an optical audio out port, a HDMI, Ethernet and a camera port for the PlayStation camera. There's no power brick because everything's integrated into the body of the console, and that's why we have such a light system. You can use it laid flat, or you can actually have it upright on its side. You can buy a vertical stand accessory to do this, but we've been using it on its side with no problems all by itself. So this is just one new part of the PlayStation 4 system. It's the DualShock 4 wireless controller. It looks very familiar to anyone who's played PlayStation before, but just about every aspect of it has been improved. You've got the traditional D-pad and face controls and the analog sticks, but you can see the shape of these has been adapted to just fit your thumbs better. The sticks feel sturdier in themselves, and all of the buttons feel a bit sturdier as you use them. The triggers are better shaped at the rear, and you can see you've got this kind of mat covering where the grips are. So where you'll slide your thumbs around is smooth, but where you grip is nice and rough, and it gives you a better friction there. Some additional features, you've got this touchpad at the top, and it's actually clickable as well. You've got the light bar, which can be tracked by the PlayStation camera, which is an additional accessory that you can buy separately. And it works like the Move controller does now, uses the light to track the device, but it's got better 3D depth perception. Also at the rear here, you've got a micro USB port. These cables are quite standard now, with the majority of smartphones coming with them for a charger, and you can use just the same ones to charge your DualShock controller. You'll notice that we have 2 new buttons replacing Start and Select. We've got Share and Options. The Share button will, as you might have guessed, bring you to all the share capabilities that come with the PlayStation 4, and your Options button is kind of like your new Start or Select button. It's kind of like they've merged those 2 buttons into just one single Options button. And at the front here, we have a headphone jack. So if you wanted to play your video games in silence, you don't have to be plugged into your TV set to get the audio. You can get the audio directly from your controller. There's also an integrated speaker, so if you don't have your headphones plugged in, you are getting additional sounds through the speaker, and it just kind of provides a better immersive experience. It feels like you're really in the game. And what you'll also get in the pack is a mono headphone. So it's just a single headphone, plugs into this jack with a clip to attach to your jumper or whatever. And there's also a mic embedded into this little controller here that you can switch on or off. And this can help you with your voice control, and also when you're doing some online gaming and you want to communicate with some of the other players. The PlayStation camera is an extra €59 if you want to get it with your PlayStation 4. It's an optional accessory at this point, and it operates, as I said, similar to how the PlayStation Move controller worked. But it also comes with some facial recognition capabilities, to the extent that if I went to log in, the camera on the left corner of the screen is actually just going to search for my face and log me in because it knows who I am. You need to have the controller in view of the camera because, as I said, it does use the light bar to recognise that a player is there. But once you have the controller in view and your face is well lit, you can add extra face data to enhance the recognition capabilities. It should work fairly well, but we've had some problems ourselves. So for your console, which will cost you €399 and upwards from that, depending on what kind of a bundle you get inside a custom processor with 8 AMD Jaguar CPU cores, a next generation AMD Radeon GPU, 8 GB of RAM, and 500 GB of hard drive storage. Bearing in mind that each game will take up about 50 GB of this, you might run out fairly quickly if you're a hardcore gamer. But as iFixit, the computer repairs website, has pointed out to us, it is a user replaceable hard drive, so if you want to upgrade, you can. The PlayStation 4 is based on x86 computer architecture. What this means for gamers is there's no backwards compatibility, but what it also means is that further down the line in the future, it'd be easier to develop and upgrade going forward. There's a 6-speed Blu-ray drive that loads and installs faster than the PlayStation 3. And overall, you've got a gaming system that's powerful enough to play 1080p, that's full HD games at 60 frames per second. When you log in, you've got 3 menus going from top to bottom on the y-axis. You've got the function menu, the home menu, and the content menu. So your functions across the top, you can jump into the PlayStation Store and download some additional games. If you want, you can sign up to PlayStation Plus for an extra €7 a month. And if you're a high-end gamer, this could have some benefits for you. You get a few games for free, you get some additional DLC and that kind of thing. You'll have your notifications, your friends, messages, you can join multiplayer parties. Then you have your own profile and your trophies. So your profile will tell you what trophies you've earned, and then you can go into the trophy section as well. In your settings menu, you'll be able to keep an eye on that system storage. It will tell you exactly how much your applications, captures and save data are all taking up, and how much free and used space that you have. Down into the home menu, the what's new section. For me, it's just showing me my own updates and updates from PlayStation, but if you had friends, which I don't, it would give you their updates as well. Moving across, the menu will order the components in order of the most recently played or interacted with, which, if you had a lot of games installed in this, could become very cumbersome, because you just be scrolling through. It's not alphabetical, you can't change that order, it's just what's most recent comes up top. To counteract this, there are voice controls on PlayStation 4. So if I just say PlayStation, PLAYROOM, start. The voice controls are quite decent. The fact that they actually work and the Xbox doesn't have them available in Ireland yet is a great plus. But you do need to have no background noise to make sure that the system can hear you quite well. So this is the PlayStation PLAYROOM. This is an app that kind of comes along with the PlayStation camera to just show off the capabilities, because at the moment the games that are available at release don't really make the best use of the camera. But this is a great little demo of what it can do. So if I swipe up on the touchpad, it gives me a few options. If I had a second player, we could play air hockey, but we'll just play with some robots instead. And touch down on the touchpad to open this up. And again, this really is just showcasing the new features, because you mostly use the touchpad to interact here. So this is our little robot friend, who, as you can see, is spilling new robots into the controller. So if I swipe outwards, we have robots wandering around the place, and I can actually knock them over if I want to. Give them a little kick. If I swipe in, it goes into the controller, and here we can see the motion sensor in the controller at work. The little robots inside are falling around. We can make them do a little dance. And really, there's not much of a game to this, but it does demonstrate the new functions pretty well. Back in the home menu, if I pick a game and I want to know a bit more of the information about it, I just push down on the left analog stick, and it will give me my recent activities, related items, basically just a bunch of additional information on the game. And you get this for each one. We've also got an internet browser, because it's an internet-enabled console. We go into that, and we see we've got a mouse cursor controller that can be operated using the analog sticks or the D-pad. The D-pad will just let you leap to the available links. And just to show you it in action, you can browse the web just as you would on a computer. You can see there's no missing functionality or anything like that. We can watch video just as you would on a computer. You just use the X button pretty much as your mouse click. In terms of games, all the games have to be installed on the hard drive, but you can play while they're installing, so you can kind of get it set up and playing pretty quickly, which is nice. Call of Duty Ghosts is the 10th installment of this franchise, and it's a fan favourite series. A lot of people have been waiting for that one. The settings in it look incredible. You'd actually almost get distracted from your killing people just looking around at the the dystopian paradise they've got set up there. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, same kind of deal. Not in gameplay, obviously, it's an action adventure, open world game, but in terms of visuals, it's really stunning. KILLZONE Shadowfall is possibly the game that we have in this selection that uses the functions of the PS4 to the greatest of its ability. The problem is KILLZONE is the least favoured of the games from our own experience and from fans that we've been speaking to. It's just quite beautiful and well executed, but a bit dull altogether. Knack is a fun kind of family level game. I mean, I can't imagine it not being suitable for play by everyone in your household. It's quite similar to Crash Bandicoot for anyone who ever played that classic. And it can be a bit repetitive, but then you've got Lego Marvel Superheroes where you have to kind of jump from character to character, solve puzzles based on each character's different skills, and it's just a bit more challenging for the young folk. So if you are playing away and you think you're doing pretty well, like I am trying to do here, you might want to share some of your experiences with your friends. And if you want to do that, you simply press the share button. And what's happened is the PlayStation has recorded your last 15 minutes of gameplay. So if you want to upload a video clip, you go to upload a video clip and it will bring you to your file log. And we select this most recent video that we just created. We can shorten the video if we want to by going to edit. So then you just select the start point and end point for your little clip. So this is broken down into 10-second intervals. So we'll just take it from immediately when the fight broke out, and we'll end it the same end point. We just select trim, and then we can rename the file and add a comment if we want to. If you want to share a screenshot, you press the share button, same way. Press upload screenshot. And you can choose to share this to either Facebook or Twitter. Another option in the share menu is to broadcast your gameplay. This is actually bring a live feed of your video game to the internet via either Ustream or Twitch. I don't have an account with either of those, so we won't be testing that today, but just so you know that you can do that. So if you get yourself a PlayStation 4 and a bunch of games and then you've exhausted their capabilities and you're bored with them, you can add to your selection without ever leaving your house by going to the PlayStation Store. There's also people who bought PlayStation 3 games in the lead up to the PlayStation 4 release might have been offered PlayStation 4 upgrades, and they'll be able to access them through this store. You can also download music through Sony's Music Unlimited platform, and you can also download media apps, and you'll be adding all of these to your library as you go. The PlayStation Store is supposed to learn as you go, so it should provide you with better recommendations as time goes on. So there you have it, that's the PlayStation 4.